Hi, I'm Hassan Zahir. I'm a partner at PTR. In this video, I will walk you through our flexible AC transmission systems market analysis, or FACTS for short. Within FACTS, we're looking at three different technologies, including STATCOMs, the Static Synchronous Compensators, the SVCs, Static VAR Compensators, and then lastly, Series Capacitors. In this market analysis service, we are offering four different products. The first one is the Global Projects Database, where we are tracking more than 3,500 installed and upcoming projects of these fax devices around the world, which is presented as an Excel file. And then we're also extracting certain key insights using Power BI from this flat database. Then we're providing TAM analysis on a regional level. What is the total market? And that analysis is a combination of Excel and then PowerPoint for key trends analysis. For vendors who are only focused on market less than 100 MVAR, we're providing an MV Facts deep dive, looking at the total market in different application verticals that I'll explain in more detail. Lastly, if you procure any of these three products from us, we also provide access to the PPR Sonar exclusive news app, which has weekly coverage of key happenings in the fax market, including as part of the service. Starting with the project database, which is a database of around 3,500 projects around the world. We are covering projects for the three different technologies that I just mentioned. We're looking at three regions, APAC, EMEA, and Americas, of course. And then for the project information, we're looking at timeline of the project data, what was the application that I'll talk about in a second with an example project. And then also we're extracting certain market insights from this database using Power BI. An example project would look like this. We're looking at information from a timeline perspective, what was the contract year, what was the service year, looking at the project data and technical details, including project name, technology, who was the supplier of this project, very good for comparative analysis, who was the client, what was the voltage of the project installed, what was the capacity, and then also what was the application category. For example, was it a utility project, industry project, or generation, which is primarily wind for most of the STATCOMs installed. This is an example project installed by American Electric Power. And as you can see, the details which are there, including the contract year, 2011, 2013 as the service year. This was an SVC project installed by ABB, now Hitachi Energy, and then it was installed in US, in America's region, at 138 kilovolt rating. And then these are the inductive and capacitive ratings of the project. We're also extracting insights from this database, including what are the hotspots, what is the market shares of different OEMs in different regions, what is the split of the technology today, and you can move the timeline cursor to analyze the technologies in the projects upcoming and then in the past as well. And then what's the regional split for different suppliers in terms of their market shares. Second, we're looking at the TAM analysis, or what's the overall regional market for SVCs and STATCOMs, where we're looking at market sizing in terms of capacity additions or MVARs, and then of course, dollar revenue, looking at company profiles of the key manufacturers of these devices around the world. We're also extracting different information on market shares in the last 5 years for different OEMs. And then since a lot of the research is primarily research heavy, we're also including different key quotes from the interviews, which we believe are very helpful. We're providing this analysis for 4 different regions or territories: Americas, EMEA. We're breaking out China and then rest of Asia Pacific. But of course, any country can be broken out upon your request. Going a bit more into details of comparative and qualitative analysis, we're looking at the competitive positioning for SVCs and STATCOMs within Asia Pacific, Americas, and EMEA, providing a regional lens to market shares. We're also providing company profiles, including an overview of their activities in the facts domain, any recent developments, and then what's their product portfolio. And then lastly, as I said, quotes from different interviews. And this analysis is provided as part of Excel database, in addition to having a detailed PowerPoint report associated with that analysis. Lastly, the MV Facts deep dive into 0 to 60 MB AR, which is available off the shelf. But of course, different ranges are available to align with your product offering. And then, of course, we segment the market into STATCOMs and SVCs here as well. From a market sizing perspective, we're looking at the capacity, of course, MBARs, and then also the dollar revenue. But the unique thing of this analysis compared to the overall TAM analysis is that for these low size fax devices, we're also looking into further segmentations by application vertical as they get installed across different industries. So looking at TSO, DSO segmentation of the market, wind and solar, and then also 4 different industry verticals, including steel, mining, railway, and oil and gas. For this analysis, we break out more countries in 5 different regions, which we believe are the key markets for these fact devices. So, of course, US, Brazil, France, Spain, and Italy, Saudi Arabia, and then in Asia Pacific, we're looking at Australia, India, and Indonesia. We're also providing a rest of the regional numbers so you can have a global analysis at hand for your strategic purposes. This analysis is presented purely in an Excel database format where you can analyze different trends using the various pivot tables that we've already built into the database. Lastly, if you subscribe to any of the 3 products that we have, you will get access to our PPR Sonar news app, where we cover different industry news or different happenings every week, on which we have the analysis of our subject matter expert as well, as you can see in this image. So on a weekly basis, you will get updates on the market, and then also analysis from our analysts on that particular news event, and what's the impact of that on the overall fax market. That is included as part of the coverage. So that's the overview of our fax coverage. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me using my contact details at the bottom of the page. I would be happy to answer any questions that you have or schedule a call with our subject matter expert on the topic. Thank you.